Hello, guys. Just came back from Zillow Unlock, and it was a hell of an event. There was a lot of things that came from it, but one of the things that I kind of wanted to share with you guys is some of the consumer housing trends report that they were able to share with us. Things that you guys should kind of be looking out for, things that you as an agent should be, well, not necessarily concerned, but should be aware of. It's a data driven look at how buyers and sellers feel about researching, hiring, and working with agents. So this is going to be great for you guys to be able to understand how the consumer is thinking in today's market. And so I just want to bring this to you guys as a value add to you as an agent that's in our power real estate community. So get ready to power up and have a blast here with us. And let's get going. We're going to be going over, key takeaways, buyers' preferences, seller preferences, and a survey methodology that we kind of went over. So, just to kind of look forward, the real estate market is always evolving, but over the last year, the changes seem to be as significant as ever, right? And so, mortgage rates have fluctuated, home prices near all time highs, and industry policies were written. Against that backdrop, agents still have to do a million of things, with buyers and sellers and in the way that they move. So, to help you stay ahead of the industry changes and economic uncertainty, Zillow created our first consumer housing trends report for agents, which is what we're bringing you here today. And in 2024, we surveyed more than 5,000 buyers and 6,200 sellers to capture their attitudes, preferences, recent activity. How do they find agents? What services do they value the most? And how do they prefer to communicate? And what do they think about commissions? So I think that's all going to be great for you guys to be able to get an insider's look on exactly what it is that sellers and buyers are actually looking for. You'll find the answers to all of these questions and more in this report. And so we're going to go ahead and go into some key takeaways here. So nearly all buyers and sellers work with agents. So even though DIY path exists, 93% of sellers and 85% of buyers use an agent at some point in their buyer journey. The dream of homeownership is still alive, number one. Number two, clients are still looking for agents to be able to help them down this path of home ownership. So, AI or the tech world hasn't replaced us just yet. So, I just want to tell you guys people are looking for a professional agent. So, second takeaway, many buyers and sellers hire the first agent they contact. 40% of buyers and 59% of sellers ultimately hire the first agent they contacted, a sign that many consumers choose an agent they had worked with previously. 40% of buyers work with an agent that they meet on the first time, and 59% of sellers sell with an agent that they met the first time. And so, as a user of Zillow for 11 years, one of the things I've noticed is just the path of least resistance, right? Like making sure that we make it super easy for us to be able to meet with the client, talk to them, and just get in front of them as quickly as possible, not really treating anybody just like a check or like a commission, right? Like you want to see past that. You actually want to create the relationship. You want to earn the review, right? Like you want to make sure and ensure that you're doing the utmost work for your clients and that you're treating them as priority and not just another number. And the stats are with you when you do that, right? So I know a lot of times, with agents who have been in the industry a long time, they would always tell me, Jose, don't waste your time. It's just a waste of time to meet with people. But I actually see it as an investment of time, right? Meeting with a potential client. I don't think it has ever been a thing in real estate to basically not want to meet with somebody who raises their hand or a hand raiser and says, hey, I want to buy a house or I want to sell a house. It has never really kind of been a thing. And I don't know when it became a thing for a lot of people to overqualify people who were interested in the process. Most clients don't understand the entire buying process, or most sellers don't understand the entire buying process. And it is up to us to, create that journey and that roadmap for that. The third takeaway is digital tools benefit both agents and clients. 78% of sellers say they're more likely to hire an agent who offers higher res photography, and 71% say that they're more likely to hire someone providing virtual tours or interactive floor plans. for good reason. Buyers' interest in digital tools like 3D and virtual tours has increased since 2019. So, what a coincidence, right? During COVID, the virtual tours and 3D tours and basically FaceTime tours, as I like to call them, have increased since COVID happened, right? It was a necessity at that time, but it really kind of sped up the world into what we live in today. And I really feel like moving forward in the future, it's only going to be more and more drastic of a change. And actually, a lot of buyers are going to be utilizing AI and tools and these type of tool sets to be able to purchase a home. And I actually think, in the next few years, things are going to be quite a bit different than they are today. I actually feel there's going to be a lot less work for a buyer's agent, not necessarily just showing any home. I think we're going to move into an era where buyer's agents are actually going to submit subject to interior inspection offers on almost every single property that their clients like, because the clients are going to have such an immersive experience that they're not going to need to go to 30 homes. So that's great news for buyer's agents that are working with a ton of buyers out there. And that's how I started my career. And I love working with buyers. So, don't feel like you need to only work with sellers, or find your niche, find whatever your passion is. And that's where you kind of actually want to head in, right? If you feel like you are more of a buyer's agent, work with buyers. If you feel like you want to be more of a listing agent or a seller's agent, then work with sellers. I mean, it just kind of really depends on you. So the fourth takeaway is that buyers want to text agents. This is a big one, right? Buyers want to text agents. So 53% of buyers who worked with an agent prefer to communicate via text message or messenger app, compared to just 33% who preferred a phone call. That's actually quite impressive. I actually didn't think that most people want to be texted. And so one of the things that we did to shift with this sort of information is we started texting a lot more, right? So I just didn't think that only 33% of people actually like to be called. But, looking back, I don't like to catch people by surprise. I feel that when you do that, you might just catch them at a bad moment. So I rather, send you a message really quick and just say, hey, you have a few minutes to chat. I have some great news, or I have some updates that I need to give you, right? Depending on what the situation is, right? But 53% prefer text or a messenger app over any other sort of communication, and only 33% prefer a phone call. Key takeaway number 5, right? Listing agents have an opportunity to set expectations with sellers. Even though home prices have increased in recent years, many sellers appear to be doing more work to successfully sell. Today's typical seller holds 2 open houses and has to leave their home twice for private showings. Plus, 50% of sellers say they had an offer that fell through. Of sellers had an offer fell through, that's about 50% of sellers said that they had an offer that fell through. That's sounding like we're starting to become into a buyer's market, right? 50% of the offers are falling through. And so one of the things and one of the techniques I encourage buyers is to submit offers as backup offers. That's actually a strategy I started utilizing back in 2017, 2016, because during that time, there was a ton of competition, right? 2019, COVID and all of that. There was a ton of competition. So I would just tell my clients and encourage them, hey, let's submit a backup offer on every single home that you see out there on the market, every single home that you love and that you like. Let's just write an offer and let's create this demand for you instead of the other way around, right? Let's leverage us submitting offers. It doesn't mean that you're going to move forward with that offer. It doesn't mean that you even have to accept moving forward. Every offer is subject to interior inspection. You still have to do your due diligence. You still kind of have to love the home, right? What we did specifically with this client is we submitted over 10 different backup offers, and 4 of the homes actually replied to us and were like, hey, is your client still interested in the home? And at that point, not only were we able to get the home they loved, we were actually able to get better terms than our initial offer that we submitted. So there was no more competition, right? We were only working with the offers that actually submitted a backup offer, and most agents don't like to do that. If you're a buyer out there, make sure that your agent is talking about a backup offer strategy. It's super important, especially when it's a tight market.